Here's a question about time. They tell us that soccer practice, right, starts at 4:15 p.m. Which clock shows 4:15 p.m.? Well, there are four choices: A, B, C, and D. And let's zoom into A to look at what this might mean. Well, here on any clock like this, you can't really tell PM or AM. So we don't have to worry about that. All we want to look at is, when does the clock read 4:15? And I think actually, if you might notice, that the shorthand here, right, this is the hour that we're on. And when I look at the shorthand, what I do in my mind is always kind of extend it in a straight line to see where it's at. So when I extended this one, it's between 4 and 5, which is good because we're looking for a time that's 4:15, right? And 4:15 is after 4 o'clock, but before 5. So the hour right here on 4:15, that's our hour, is bigger than 4, but less than 5. And since our hour hand right here is between 4 and 5, this clock is right on task. Next, we have the minute hand to look at. Well, the minute hand is pointed at the 3 over here. And if you think about what that means, well, there are 60 minutes in a clock, right? All together, all around, just like any other minute or hour. Sorry, there are 60 minutes in this clock. When we look at the minute hand and it's pointed at 3, let's think about how far this distance is in comparison to the whole distance around the clock. Just take a wild guess. Not a wild guess, take a logical guess. Well, you can almost see it, right? This green piece, in comparison to the whole distance around the clock, is 1/4 of the total distance. And look at this piece. It's 1/4 because it would take 4 of these green pieces to fill the whole circle. So that minute hand is 1/4 of the whole hour. What does that mean? Well, if there are 60 minutes, right? What number goes into 60 4 times? Well, the answer is 15, right? This chunk is 15 minutes because it goes into our clock 4 times. If I doubled 15, I get down here, and that's 30. If I do it again, we get over here, and that's 45. And a 4th time, I get back to the hour. So this first example is 4:15. And what you might want to remember is that the number 3 represents 15 minutes, the number 6 represents 30 minutes, and the number 9 represents 45 minutes. So I would actually pick A for my answer. But let's look at B, C, and D just so we're clear. Again, I'm going to look at the hour hand on B, this little hour hand. Notice it almost points directly at 5. And that's because the minute hand's all the way over here at 45. So this is at 4, right? It's almost at 5, 45. That's almost 5 o'clock. And all I'm looking at on a clock are these numbers, 3, 6, and 9, as all 15 minutes apart from each other, right? So we go from the hour here to 15 minutes. That's a 1/4 of the whole distance, to a half an hour to 45 minutes, and then we start over again in a nice cycle. In this clock, notice what they're doing. They put the minute hand here where the hour hand was before. It's a little bit after 4 o'clock, but that's the minute hand. So we look at the hour hand first, and this tells us 3 o'clock, because it points at the 3, and then it's a little bit after 4, about, I'd say, 21 minutes in total, right? Because every time you go up a number here, it's like going up 5 minutes. So we go up 5, 10, 15, 20, and then a little bit. So 21. And lastly here, what we have, if you look at the hour hand, it's after 4 o'clock, right? But the minute is pointing all the way down here, so it's about 4:30. And if if everything I'm saying here about finding the minutes is not working, just remember that all of these dashes, you can count them to find the minutes, right? The hour hand, whatever number the hour hand points at, that's the hour. So if the hour hand was pointing at a 6, you will be looking at 6 o'clock. If the hour hand, this little hand, is pointing at 7, you're looking at 7 o'clock. If it's pointing between 7 and 8, It's after 7 o'clock, but before 7. So I always find the hour first. Again, this one, the hour is between 4 and 5. So it's at least 4 o'clock, but not 5 o'clock yet. And the next thing we do is figure out the minutes, right? And what you can remember is these are all 5-minute groups to help you keep track. So you can start here and count up by 5 when you reach the 1. That's 5 minutes. The 2 is 10 minutes, 5 minutes more. The 3 is 15 minutes. And in this case, if we keep going, right, we get 20, 25, 30 minutes. And it's nice to remember that this is always the half hour, just like it's kind of the halfway point on the circle before you come back and start over. So this one was 4:30, but we want A, which is 4:15. All right, thanks.